When a young couple purchases a neighborhood haunt, they get much more than they bargained for.
There was so much activity, and there seemed to be so many entities in one location.
Ghostly pranks quickly turn aggressive, threatening the safety and sanity of everyone who comes in the front door.
We were dealing with something much bigger than ourselves. It was getting more personal, it was getting more dangerous. I was truly scared at that point.
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
Good.
Lynn, what are you doing? Lynn, talk to us. Lynn, are you okay? Lynn, should we call you?
In 2007, Jason Ryder surprises his wife, Lynn, with an unexpected gift.
Okay, open them.
What?
It's Maury's. We are the new owners of Maury's.
Maury's is a popular Meriden, Connecticut restaurant.
Oh my God.
So Maury's was basically the place that everyone has a story about in Meriden, because that is the place we all grew up.
A lot of people from the town, they would go there. So it's almost like a Cheers.
What have you done?
Jason and Lynn frequented Maury's on dates and dreamed they would one day own the place.
I kind of got blindsided by the purchase of Maury's. I didn't know. Jason's pretty good about that kind of stuff.
After 3 months of renovations, Lynn and Jason renamed the bar Ryder's.
I know there's a man in the mirror that I don't know.
Lynn's father, Barry, is recruited to help.
Lynn is a people person. If she has people around her, she's totally happy.
Both Lynn and Jason quickly discover that running a restaurant and a bar is more challenging than they ever imagined.
Lynn, we are on our last bottle of tequila, and the ice machine is on the fritz again.
We were up there 7 days a week. Some days it was 15, 16 hours a day. We were still trying to learn the business.
Also, we need to order more shot glasses.
I just ordered new ones last week. Where'd they go?
I don't know.
I usually had about 48 shot glasses. As the weeks went on, I was down to like 2 shot glasses. And then I would buy 24 more. And a couple days later, I'd be down to 5 shot glasses.
This is getting expensive.
So I questioned my staff as to, are you breaking them? Are you throwing them out? Are people stealing them?
The shot glasses are not the only items disappearing in the bar. Lynn's keys frequently go missing.
We would spend sometimes almost up to an hour looking for keys. They would go missing pretty much every day for a while. In the beginning, I thought I was losing my mind. And then it started happening more frequently. So I started questioning who's doing it.
Lynn often comes in early in the morning to catch up on paperwork. It's the only quiet time she has before opening the restaurant for the day. Up until now, she's never been disturbed.
Dad? Jason, is that you?
I heard my name, and not just my name, I heard Lynn Marie, which is my full name.
What? Dad, Jason, what? What do you guys want? I'm swamped here.
It sounded like it was coming from out in the restaurant, like my husband or my dad was yelling for me. I wasn't really pleased that I had to get up because I was extremely busy.
Jason?
I looked around, and the building was empty. And the hair stood up on the back of my neck. I told Jason I felt like I was being watched. He basically just said, listen, you're tired. You work a lot of hours.
Jason's assurance that nothing strange is going on does not make Lynn feel better.
When something inside me tells me that I need to kind of be on alert, there's usually a reason.
Several days later, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and Lynn prepares for a party at the restaurant. Suddenly, Lynn feels a tap on her shoulder. And then another.
The second tap was harder. It was hard enough that my attention needed to be caught.
Marcy? Marcy, you there?
Lynn, do you need help?
You got it? Were you just in the basement?
No, Lynn, I just got here. I need to get back upstairs.
Things moving or disappearing, that's one thing. For something to be able to come up and touch you, I mean, it's scary.
Over the next few weeks, Lynn continues to have strange experiences in the restaurant. But each time she tries to talk about it with her family, they laugh it off.
Everybody was teasing me at that point. Like, oh, what's the matter, Lynn? Did your ghost do it? So it was a big joke. I mean, it was a constant joke.
Well, we joked around a lot because we just thought this was just, it was a way to ease attention.
You leaving?
Mm-hmm. I need to go to the post office. I'll lock up.
Okay.
I had beer bottles all over the place. They were on the floor, they were moved around. I'm the only one in the bar. The bar is locked. I cannot fathom how this could have happened. There's no logical explanation. I get very, very uneasy because I can't figure this out.
The next day, Barry stocks the beer cooler before opening. He thinks he's alone.
Not funny! Hey, come on! Open the door! Jason, open the door!
I was afraid. If you've ever been in combat, if you've ever had somebody literally trying to kill you, that's the feeling you get. And that's the exact feeling I had.
Open the door! Come on, open the door! Seriously, come on! Hey, come on! Open the door!
Barry Eichenauer is working alone in his daughter's bar when someone or something locks him in the beer cooler.
Come on, open the door!
I caught my breath, and now I had to get my wits about me. I had to figure out what was going on.
Dad!
Yeah,
Are you okay? I heard someone yelling.
I'm okay now.
The look on his face alone told me that he was a little scared. He was never going to admit it to me.
I've been in that cooler a million times. It's never locked on me.
The door can't even close by itself.
This was what really started me to get into her corner and say, look, you've got to figure out what's going on.
Lynn fears there is something supernatural lurking in the shadows of her restaurant. Her mother convinces her that a psychic may see what Lynn cannot.
Do you own a bar?
Yes.
I sense two mischievous entities at your restaurant.
She said to me, you have two spirits, and they weren't really happy with some of the things I was doing. She told me that they had been there for many, many years. And instead of going into a power struggle with them, I needed to go back to the restaurant and kind of just make peace with the fact that they were there.
They've taken several items and hidden them in the basement.
And she described it with the dirt cellar. She told me exactly what corner and what box to look behind. She says you'll find them. My parents had to drop me off at the restaurant. I immediately ran downstairs and started digging through exactly where she told me to go. The very moment that I pulled back the last box and found shot glasses, I kind of froze. I did freeze and was like, whoa, okay.
What are you doing back here?
Jason. I found the shot glasses. Exactly where the psychic said they would be. Jason. I really think there are ghosts here.
Anyone could have brought those glasses down here. It proves nothing. Don't say anything to the employees. I don't want them thinking they work for a crazy person.
I didn't want my wife to pretty much be telling people about this, because I don't want them to think that she was a nutcase. You know, seeing this or seeing that.
I knew I wasn't crazy at that point, but that's when you really got to start going, okay, wait, we're dealing with something, you know? And you don't know what's gonna happen.
A week later, Lynn hires Tito Corchato to be a bouncer and help out around the bar. She doesn't tell him about the strange occurrences.
When I first started working at Riders, I didn't have any weird feelings towards the bar. I've never heard any stories about anything.
Dad, would you run down to the basement, pick up a couple of more boxes of martini glasses for me?
Oh, I'll get them.
Thanks, Tito.
You could feel the change of temperature. It was very cold down there.
Who's there? Jason? Is that you? What the?
Register tape was thrown at me.
Good try, Jason.
I thought it was Jay playing around with me, because Jay loves to play jokes. So I thought it was Jay.
That same evening, Tito helps with cleanup after closing.
To actually see pots flying off on their own and there's no one back there, that was the scariest moment. That made me believe that there were actually some supernatural activities going on at Riders.
Later that night,
Yeah, what is it? Okay, I'll meet the police there in a few minutes.
The alarm company again?
Third time this week. Damn, I swear.
This particular time, the police didn't show up, so I figured somebody's breaking into the building. I see like 3 black shadows. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Jason has no idea what danger is just behind the door. After the alarm goes off in the restaurant, Jason Ryder believes intruders have broken in.
I figure I had to get into a fight, and so I'm getting myself all pumped up, you know, all juiced up and everything else. I kick open the door, nobody's there. I go home. An hour later, the alarm goes off again. Alarm went off like 5 times that night.
As the nightly bar scene at Ryder's picks up, Lynn and Jason's secret grows even more difficult to keep.
What the? The cue ball came up in the air and jumped over all the other balls and just hit the table.
Listen, I didn't touch it. That is not okay.
Guys, I am so sorry. We are going to have this table checked to make sure that it's level.
We chalked it up to the floors being unlevel that night or something. I didn't want to scare people.
Okay, let's get a beer.
But the customers know what they saw. Later that same evening, a woman is in the ladies' restroom, alone.
Hello? Is there anyone in here? Oh my God! I asked her if she was okay. And she couldn't talk to me at that point. She specifically said to me, I do not believe in heaven and I do not believe in hell. But I do not even know how to tell you what I just saw. You need to see something. She then asked me to please go into my bathroom and look at the wall.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
I was starting to feel hopeless. There were more and more people coming forward to me. And the more that people came forward to me, the more standoffish I was. Because not only could I not explain it to them, but I couldn't do anything to fix it.
The paranormal pranks at Ryder's are no longer harmless. People are scared. Lynn and Jason are not sure how to solve the problem. They continue to run the restaurant as if nothing happened.
I think my husband was frustrated because Jay is a fixer, and that's what he does. And he couldn't fix this, and I think that he didn't want to admit to me that he couldn't protect us, and I think that bothered him.
Jason continues to do what he does best, fix whatever is broken. On a 90-degree summer day, Jason is in the basement repairing a leaky pipe.
As soon as I went in there, it was like just cold, dry air, like death. I could see the smoke coming from my breath, and it was definitely not a cold day.
Tito? Is that you? Barry?
I would see, it will say shadows, or I think I see somebody right there next to me, or like 10 feet away, and I would look, they wouldn't be there. I knew I really saw something.
Despite the tension, Lynn continues to go through the motions of her routine. But this morning will be unlike any other.
Lynn Marie.
For more A Haunting, go to destinationamerica.com. Lynn Ryder is trapped in the back of her restaurant.
And the energy was tight. It was almost as if you couldn't breathe. There was really nowhere for me to go at that point because I was in the back corner of the building and I was alone. It scared me. It's one thing to know that there's a presence. It's another thing to know that they know you're there. The fact that it knew my name and not just my first name, it bothered me. That was something personal.
Lynn reaches out to a friend for help. Clairvoyant and medium Karen Hollis.
Lynn had a real sense that I wouldn't lead her astray. If she needed some type of therapy, I was going to send her to the right person. And if she needed the right paranormal investigative group, I would also be able to point her in the right direction.
Karen arrives and takes a look around the entire restaurant, including the basement.
My first feeling about it was, it just felt heavy. The air felt heavy.
When we had walked in, the room was ice cold.
I got a sense of, why are you here? The minute I walked into the bar. Yep, this place is haunted. We've got something here. It's been my experience that mirrors, specifically antique mirrors, because they reflect back to us our own perceptions on reality, create doorways to other dimensions. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, that's the portal. That's where they're coming through. A portal is a doorway that can allow something from a different dimension to come into our particular plane of existence.
Lynn.
Karen recommends Lynn get rid of the mirror and that she contact a paranormal investigation team Karen works with. A week later, Karen and the Ghosts of New England Research Society arrive after closing to investigate. Kurt Knapp runs the team.
I was very excited to get an investigation underway there. At the same time, I was a little bit skeptical because it just seemed to be too much going on there for any one place.
Before arriving, Kurt Knapp researches Ryder's history.
We always try to look at the place from a historic perspective to see what happened there. Because in New England, there are so many layers of history.
He learns Ryder's was originally 2 residences built in the 1800s, later joined together to become a feed store, paint store, and finally Maury's before Lynn and Jason took over. Town lore claims 2 deaths resulted from a fire in 1976. Could these be the ghosts haunting the bar? Kurt approaches his investigations with an open mind.
We try to approach each investigation with a scientific method and also a psychic method. We don't discount the client's claims, but we take them with a grain of salt, realizing that most clients are not trained observers.
We got everything under control. Okay. Oh, Laka.
Okay, thank you. Joe and Karen, I want you to go into the basement. Mike, you and I are going to go to the kitchen. Let's go.
There was a heaviness in the air, and the minute I turned the corner, I got a sense of an entity that was over my left shoulder.
I know you're here. I can feel it. Please, come forward.
I heard in real time, "I'm so weak." When I asked telepathically, "In what way are you weak? Is it emotionally or physically?" it answered both. And it was shocking. I heard it, we marked it, disembodied voice. I knew at that point we had a very haunted bar.
Karen senses several more spirits, but they will not communicate with her.
I felt the presence of at least 2 separate entities, but many times when you're investigating a haunting, it feels like a game of hide and go seek. The energy moves away from you. So it doesn't want to let you know that it's actually there.
Investigators set up a laser grid in the basement to detect motion.
We thought we'd do an impromptu EVP session in the dirt floor part of the cellar. I felt something tap me on the back of the head.
I have movement in the grid.
Kurt Knapp and the Ghosts of New England Research Society are looking for verifiable proof that Ryder's is haunted.
I have movement in the grid.
Suddenly, an investigator is in distress.
What's wrong? What happened?
I don't know what it was.
He said it was like something just rushed right through me. He used the comparison of like throwing a handful of sand through a screen door. I think that it was trying to show us its power, that it could do things like this and we couldn't do anything about it. We were seeing and hearing these things for ourselves, and there was absolutely no doubt in our mind that there was some serious paranormal activity happening in Ryder's.
That night, Karen decides to do a clearing, to communicate with spirits in the building and attempt to cross them over.
We're gonna use the tarot cards.
The tarot cards provide Karen with an opportunity to communicate with the spirit through symbolism, rather than trying to capture its voice again on a digital recorder.
Can you tell us who you are? Why you're here?
I immediately got the Emperor card, which would indicate a male energy. When I asked, "How did you die?" it gave me the Hanged Man, that he had hanged himself.
Lynn is astonished.
There was one patron who talked to my husband and us about when he was a little boy, they used to work there. And he had told us that there was someone who had died by hanging.
When I asked, why do I feel that you are sad in some way, he gave me the Three of Swords, that he was divorced, separated, heartbroken, that there had been an issue.
Do you want to leave?
And when I asked him, do you want to leave, he gave me the Sun card, yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, with your permission, I'm going to create a light. And I want you to walk into it. Do you understand? He says he wants to rest.
He indicated to me that yes, he would be willing to take the chance to walk into it. I created the beam of light, and then he just disappeared.
He's gone.
We had released one of the more frustrating entities. But given that the building has so much history, it certainly has more work.
Karen believes at least one more entity remains in the building, but does not sense anything sinister.
I can't say for sure that there aren't entities or an entity at Riders that wishes no one harm. I can say that we didn't receive any indication that Lynn would be in any danger.
She did explain to me that there still could be other spirits that have not come forward yet.
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
For the next 3 days, Riders feels like a normal place of business again. There are no paranormal incidents, but are the entities really gone? Late one night, Lynn and a bartender are closing the restaurant.
Marcy, I think we had a really good night tonight.
We did. We had a great night.
Marcy, what happened?
The glass flew off the shelf and smashed my hand.
As soon as that had happened, the feeling just came back.
Jason? I just saw Jason in the mirror.
Marcy, Jason's at home. He hasn't been here all evening.
No, I just saw him. I swear I did.
The feeling just came back. You don't really say anything to each other at that point, but we knew. We knew.
Despite the indication there are active spirits in her restaurant again, Lynn is determined to go on with life as normal.
I had invited a couple of my girlfriends over, and because I worked so many hours, we were in the back.
Let's talk about her new job.
Yeah, I'm starting next week.
Yeah?
We'll see. I'm ready to quit before I start.
No. You can do it. I know you. You can do anything. You can do it.
It's
gonna
so
be great.
nerve-wracking.
But it's exciting, right?
No, it's really exciting. It's really exciting. New opportunities and everything.
Yeah?
We'll see.
Good.
Lynn, what are you doing? Lynn, talk to us. Lynn, are you okay? Stop. Lynn, should we call an ambulance? What's going on?
It was not okay. That was like the last piece of protection I had, or felt I had, was to know that I had St. Michael watching over me.
Lynn believes whatever is now haunting Riders is more aggressive than the spirits that plagued her restaurant before the clearing.
At that point, I knew that the spirit that was crossed had nothing to do with what was really going on at Riders. We were dealing with something much bigger than ourselves.
Over the next few days, Lynn notices another disturbing change at her restaurant.
The building changed. It changed to oppressive and negative and a feeling of danger.
Hey, can I get my beer?
Lynn often bartends in the afternoon until the evening shift arrives.
Hey, can I get a couple more beers over here? We need 2 over here.
I've been waiting for my drink forever.
This afternoon is unusually busy.
The service is horrible here.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
The mortgage is so far behind. I hope we don't lose the house.
I don't like this drink. I hate my hair.
My drink tastes terrible.
My kids are getting bullied constantly.
She's so slow, and I don't even know why they keep her around.
Lynn believes she's hearing everyone's thoughts.
I started hearing people talking. They truly weren't speaking. In my mind, they were speaking.
She's so slow, and I don't even know why they keep her around.
Service is horrible here.
You can't protect your children.
I don't like this drink.
My drink tastes terrible.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
My kids are getting bullied constantly.
She's so slow, and I don't even know why they keep her around.
For Lynn Ryder, an afternoon at work suddenly takes a dark turn.
I was hearing people's thoughts directed at me. It was as if I was being attacked by 57 people. I was just hearing nasty, negative things about me.
You can't protect your children.
I don't like this drink.
My drink tastes terrible.
Your business is going under.
At that point, I knew I had had it. I had to call my family to come in.
Lynn? Lenny? What's wrong? What's going on? Nobody can see you like this. This is crazy. It'd be embarrassing and bad for the company. Nobody is going to the hospital.
Nobody's going to the hospital.
Lynn, I didn't say anything.
You don't have to say anything. I can hear you. I can hear your thoughts.
I was in a full-out breakdown in my office that night. My mind shut down and my body shut down, and I truly lost it all in one night.
Jason convinces Lynn to take a break and stay away from the restaurant for a few days.
I was worried about her. She's like my partner. She's a partner in business. She's my partner in life. She's the mother of my children.
Lynn, it's not worth it.
Jason also tells Lynn it's time to give up their dream.
The business is not worth it. I'd rather see her just let it all go.
We've worked so hard.
Something had to be done to relieve the pressure. A little bit of hope and prayer. And I don't think she was going to be able to come back out of it.
Just think about it.
Lynn knows she has to do something to help herself. A friend recommends Lynn contact a local psychic and spiritual healer, Pam Faith.
I went to Pam to strengthen my energy again so that I could protect myself. It had nothing to do with the restaurant. It was me. I needed some clarity.
But Pam immediately zeroes in on the problems at Ryder's and asks Lynn to see the restaurant.
She said that we needed to deal with the building before I could deal with me personally.
Pam asks that her identity remains hidden.
I wanted to go to her business to remove and release the bad spirits, the bad demons, so she can get her life back.
Pam believes something dangerous is now haunting Ryder's.
I'm sensing several spirits and a demonic presence. I believe it's in the basement, and it's extremely dangerous.
The dark ones, or negative ones, whatever terminology you want to use, their intention is to harm, either physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The bad ones want to break you down.
I believe we were dealing with demons. We weren't dealing with human spirits.
I need you to stay here in constant prayer.
Pam will attempt to clear each room in the restaurant with prayer and by encouraging the entities present to move on.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
God the Father.
When you're dealing with regular spirits, they need help, healing, in other words. So I will help them to heal and go to where they're supposed to go on the other side.
Pam Faith does the clearing ritual in each of the rooms on the main floor of the restaurant. She will confront the demon in the basement alone.
When you're dealing with demons, that always puts you at a risk for being harmed or being attacked. Just because I have gifts doesn't mean I can't get hurt.
She plans to find the demon and attempt to remove it from the building with prayer.
I could feel the demon in the basement. I asked God to get rid of it.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
For her own protection, Lynn stays upstairs praying.
As it is in heaven.
Pam senses the demon.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Our Father, rid this place of its evil. Allow it to go.
And give us this day our daily bread.
Our Father, rid this place of its evil. Allow it to go.
And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Our Father, rid this place of its evil.
And lead us not into temptation.
Allow it to go.
But deliver us from evil.
I felt the major shift of energy in the basement once it was gone. What a difference in the room. You could breathe.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Lynn?
It's gone.
Yes, it is.
It's gone.
It's hopefully for good, but there's no way to know for sure.
When she was done with the entire building, immediately, I felt like I could breathe. It looked brighter. It was as if I was walking into the building for the first time. There was nothing that I had ever felt. I was almost instantaneously at ease.
Kurt Knapp and his team hope Lynn's paranormal troubles are over, but they fear the lack of activity in the restaurant is only temporary.
I don't think the haunting is over at Ryder's at all. I think that there probably will always be some type of paranormal activity there.
For Lynn, the experience has brought her closer to her family and made her a stronger person.
I do feel that I'm stronger. It's strengthened my belief in God and my religion and my faith. After going through what I've been through, I can deal with it. It's only life.
I think she's a better and stronger person now than she was when this all started.
Once you deal with that type of entity, and especially a demonic force, there's always a way for them to get back in. I know that I will have to protect myself and my family the rest of my life. They don't forget your names. They don't forget who you are.
In this world, there is real evil. In the darkest shadows and in the most ordinary places. These are the true stories of the innocent and the unimaginable. When Jim and Joanne Whitley transform an old farm into a working horse stable, they believe they've achieved their dreams. But the Whitleys don't realize their hard work has stirred a dormant presence, dead set on evicting the living. As their family crumbles, Joanne resolves to take back her life and fight for what is hers. Between the world we see and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality. For centuries, the state of New Hampshire was a battleground. Here, Native American tribes fought over the fur trade, while French and English armies slaughtered each other for control of the New World. Today, the gray granite stones jutting above the land name only a fraction of the souls lying beneath. Joanne was raised farm girl tough.
I'm an honest, hard-working person.
If there's a problem, she fixes it herself.
I started working on farms when I was 9, and basically I knew as a child that's what I wanted to do with my life.
Her husband Jim is cut from the same self-reliant mold. It's a way of life they've instilled in their son David.
We're gonna need you on this one, buddy.
The Whitleys moved to Kingston, New Hampshire, with dreams of opening a horse stable and breathing crisp country air every day. But an ominous force challenged those simple goals. And now, Joanne is fighting not just to preserve her dreams, but to preserve their lives.
Vitals? BP 90/60, pulse 110. Lead to trauma as fast as you can. We're prepping now.
We're here for you, David.
Joanne fears David has permanently damaged his spine in a bike accident.
I felt totally helpless. He was in trouble. I just couldn't do anything for him.
I just want to go see him.
Just give the nurse a second.
For the Whitleys, this is the scariest moment of their 20-year marriage.
I was like, oh, it's the end of my world. Had to be the worst day of my life.
Here's what's going on. This line right here, he has a fractured vertebrae. He's gonna be okay. Probably. It's lucky it didn't cut into his spinal cord.
Doctor?
Excuse me.
Joanne has no doubt that David's injury is the latest attack in her family's long battle with the supernatural.
It's hurt our son.
I didn't know what could happen next. Somebody could die from this.
But Jim isn't so sure.
It's just an accident. I was really scared, but I didn't know if that was just a bad string of luck or there was something else going on.
Nobody's life is like this. I've got to do something.
There's nothing else we can do.
I'll find a way.
With my son breaking his back, I had had enough. I need to do something. And I need to do something fast.
For years, Joanne has sought logical explanations for the negative presence besetting her horse farm. But the uncanny activity has defied all logic. Now, desperate, she puts her faith in a psychic.
There have been so many things happening for so long now. And now with this attack on my son, it's hard to explain.
I just didn't know what to say or how to feel.
Can you help me?
I don't have any power over what you're facing.
But who else can I go to?
We've tried everything. This is my last attempt to get some help.
I'm sorry. There may not be anything to do but move.
Nothing is going to take my home from me.
This woman works with energy. She may be able to help you.
Thank you.
That night, from her stable office,
Hello, my name is Joanne Whitley. I understand you might be able to help me cleanse my property.
Sue Bernier practices Shambhala, a discipline that balances residual energy transcending time.
Everything is comprised of energy.
Our thoughts have energy. Our words carry energy.
Sue's heard many stories just like Joanne's.
What sort of things?
People call it poltergeist, demons, spirits.
But they all have the same effect.
Negative energy will start to take you over. The stronger the force, the bigger the incident.
You've suffered a lot. And those are just some of the things that have been happening.
I started seeing her property. I started feeling nauseated and shortness of breath, which typically signals there is a negative energy.
Do you think you can help? Well, I can try. What exactly does that involve?
I heard the despair in Joanne's voice.
And
I knew I was in for more than your typical clearing.
And the symbols of Shambhala to help them ascend. How soon could you come over? I can be there tomorrow.
I didn't want to get my hopes up, and I was a little skeptical. Oh, I didn't know she could help us. Nobody's been able to help us before.
The next afternoon, as Sue approaches Joanne's home, she senses the property's former inhabitants.
Using Shambhala, I can see a picture book of errors. I saw a Native American. I saw kids playing. It was as if I was going back through time. I hear the people. I feel the people, what moods they were in, how they died.
Hi. Hi, I'm Joanne. Thanks for coming out.
Nice to meet you. Wow, you have a really interesting property.
Well, we've done a lot of work. It was in terrible shape when we first saw it.
Joanne tells Sue the story of her family's history on the farm. When they first found the property, it had sat abandoned for years.
This is it, Jim. This is perfect.
I wouldn't say perfect.
The 300 acres of open land are just what Joanne needs to fulfill her lifelong dream, opening her own horse farm.
Horses and her, they're like one. Her love was that great for them.
Jim is an electrician by trade,
Certainly enough land for your business.
but he's skilled in all areas of home repair.
Fix me up.
Mom, I can help fix it up.
David shares his parents' excitement.
You got plenty of land. Especially being a young boy, you get to go out and explore.
Come on, let's go check it out.
It was a mess, but we knew we could turn it around and make it a beautiful home.
Over the next year, Joanne invests all her resources into renovating the property and preparing her business.
Once we made the house livable, we concentrated on...
More visions of spirits filled with despair flood Sue's head.
Shambhala is a state of mind. You cannot simply switch it off. You are sensitive to what is taking place around you.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. You were saying?
I had teaching horses, and we also boarded private riding horses.
Finally, Joanne is ready to recruit boarders and students.
I expected to be happy and have healthy horses and have happy students and just live my dream.
This is very nice.
Thanks, Helen. Some little wiring problem. We'll get it fixed.
The lights just wouldn't stop going on and off.
but it was a very creepy, strange feeling. And these students started becoming very uncomfortable.
Later that night,
Did you sign up the new students?
Well, I was taking them back to my office to sign, and the lights started flickering on and off.
I was in disbelief.
Well, I wired that myself.
You know, I'm a licensed electrician. And when I do something, I make sure everything's tight and meets the code.
It's no biggie. They'll sign anyway. But even when the lights are on, it's pretty dim in there. You'll want to add some more lights.
I'll check the wiring before I go to work tomorrow. The new lights are gonna have to wait.
Fine.
the next morning, the inspection leaves Jim baffled.
And I checked through it, looked at the wiring, the circuit breakers. I couldn't find any problem at all. And it sounded like there was some children out there playing. I didn't see anybody. It was a little frightening. When you hear things like that, it just makes you wonder. I don't know where it came from, but I just brushed it off and kept doing what I was doing.
Fix it?
There's nothing to fix.
There's got to be something wrong.
No, there's nothing.
Must have been a fluke. Now I've got to get to work.
Joanne's business flourishes within months.
We were full really fast. Some of the horses were my own, but the majority were student horses. My whole dream was to have students that would want to compete. I was a very competitive instructor, and I wanted to be able to go to the shows with the students that were boarding here.
Gain experience, some of Joanne's students help out around the stable before and after lessons.
Yeah, Frisco won't eat or drink anything.
Have you taken him out yet this morning?
Yeah, that's what's odd.
Frisco is Joanne's favorite
He
horse,
just needs to see Mama.
but she's not worried because she knows his quirks.
Each horse has their own personality. The things that they do sometimes just kind of boggles your mind. It felt like the earth was rumbling, like horses were galloping.
What horses got out?
They're all here.
I heard galloping.
We haven't heard anything.
I felt very uncomfortable. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't explain it.
Hey, everything all right?
Did you just hear anything?
No, why? What'd you hear?
I'm not sure. It sounded like a herd of horses just stampeded past the office.
Odd.
Yeah. Has he been out there a while?
As long as I've been out here. You all right?
Yeah. Just thought I heard something. I'm sure it's nothing.
I just know I heard and saw what I did.
We heard this like old-time type of music. Very clear. It was very, very creepy.
Mom, what? Calm down. Back in the woods, I heard this weird music, like a violin, but nobody was around.
Two? Guys, it had to be just the wind whipping around.
No,
The wind through the branches can make a whistling noise.
it wasn't the wind.
There's like 300 acres back there. There's no houses, no people, nothing.
Mom, I'm not making it up.
I know you're not, honey. Come on, help me walk Frisco.
As the weeks pass, Frisco's eating doesn't return to normal.
The horses to me are just like having children. They need just as much care and just as much love.
When several other horses begin acting sick, Joanne calls a vet for help.
It's weird. Only my horses are sick. None of the student horses are.
What's he been doing?
Not eating, seems to be uncomfortable. Seems to have a bellyache.
It appears to be colic. It could be from changing his schedule, his water, his feed.
That doesn't make any sense. They're all on the same schedule. I feed them all hay and oats, and it's top quality feed.
I couldn't understand why they were getting sick.
If that's the case, I may have to run some additional tests.
It was really upsetting me as well as my students.
Tests? Look, I have my horse here and I'm worried. Could she catch this?
If it's colic, and I think that it is, you have nothing to worry about.
But I don't feel comfortable with this
It's not
situation.
contagious.
Sorry about that. She means well, but she can be a little nervous.
That's understandable. I'm gonna give your horses some mineral oil until I get these tests back. Just keep them on their feet, keep fresh water in front of them.
I've worked on farms with 60 head of horses and never had this many illnesses. Something was happening. It was a very negative feeling.
Strange things like that continued to happen. And I had this growing feeling that our lives were being invaded.
Sue is not surprised that Joanne's favorite horse had been feeling uneasy.
Almost like
Most animals are more susceptible to spirits. The spirits or energy just keeps crossing them. They don't know what's going on.
Frisco only got worse. All my horses got worse.
To hear the horses from the house, Joanne and Jim install an intercom.
There. That's done.
Perfect. You know, you hurt David's feelings the other day.
What was I supposed to say? It was obviously the wind.
Maybe it was, but next time, cut him a break.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, by the way, I ordered the lights you wanted the friend here.
Thanks.
As the weeks pass, Joanne develops close friendships with her students.
I want you guys to think about writing in some competitions. Maybe.
Hanging out with them helps take her mind off the negative feelings she senses on the property.
Ladies, please excuse me. I've got to get going.
Oh. See you later.
Good night.
Kiss the baby.
Guys, I really think I could win a competition.
It's a little hard your first time, Deidre.
That's not my Sierra, is it?
No, that's definitely Frisco. We're still waiting for the test to come back.
I'm sorry.
It was a man's whistling.
Your husband's a hell of a whistler.
That's not Jim. He's out of town on a job. Well, then who is it? I don't know. Let's find out.
And the students were scared to death. I didn't know if when I'd open the doors, if there'd be something or someone standing there. I had no idea what to expect. I felt like there was a presence watching me that made me feel extremely uncomfortable.
This is freaking weird. I know. What is going on here?
I don't know, Deidre.
Whatever, this whole place is freaking weird. Come on, let's just call it a night.
How could I fight the sinister feeling or thing if it wouldn't show itself to me? How could I get rid of it?
Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Yes, I know what Deidre said, but that's just Deidre. No, Allison's just not sure if she's going to stay. I understand.
What am I going to do next? If everybody leaves, I'm no longer going to be in business. There was definitely something tugging my leg.
Hey, honey, I got the lights.
Not now, Jim.
Not now. Come on, you've been riding me about this forever.
Something's here. Something just grabbed my leg.
To really make me say, yes, I'm a true believer, it would probably have to come up and bite me right in the backside.
Joanne,
I know there's something. I don't know exactly what it is.
With or without Jim's support, Joanne cannot sit idly by as her horses continue to fail. One night, while Jim works overtime, she meets with an acupuncturist. Joanne hopes the alternative therapy will soothe her horses while she waits on the vet's lab tests.
Thank you so much for coming out. I just hope I can help.
Joanne doesn't realize the acupuncturist has psychic abilities.
What's wrong?
This isn't just about the horses, is it?
She turned to me and said, "Do you mind if I say something to you?"
There are spirits.
She said, "Do you realize you have many, many spirits here?" Finally, somebody is seeing and feeling what I have been feeling.
Why are they here?
Sometimes earthbound spirits are trapped. Maybe they died a horrific death. Maybe some force is holding them here.
The healer suspects the answer lies buried in the land's past.
There are some rituals that may make peace, at least for a little while.
It was like a big cloud of negativity over my farm, and I needed to find out why and try to put a stop to it.
Can I have a look?
Later that night, Jim is still away on his job.
Everything's fine. I've just been reading up on the history of Kingston. You know, a plague came through in the 1800s. Wiped out half the town.
Scary. Look, I'm probably going to be stuck here most of the night.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. We'll be here.
Yeah, I knew you'd understand. How's David?
He's fine. See you in the morning.
Every night, Joanne goes to the stable for one last check on her horses.
I hear and feel someone walk by right next to me.
Footsteps, but there was nobody around. It's okay, just calm down.
The feeling of fear, it was just overwhelming.
Now it's going after my son. He's my whole heart, he's my whole reason for being. I had to put an end to it.
Joanne has felt isolated from her husband since first sensing a negative presence.
Joanne?
He was a skeptic, but I didn't know who else to turn to or who else to tell.
You know I've heard things. David heard footsteps last night.
Footsteps? Come on, it's an old house with creaky floorboards. I mean, if there's something here, how come nothing's happening to me?
Maybe you're just ignoring
Maybe you're just imagining it.
She was very angry. If I don't believe something, I don't believe.
And what do you want to do, move? Give up your business?
I'm not giving up anything. This Saturday, I'm going to try to cleanse the property.
Cleanse the property?
The lady who came to help me with the horses, she told me what to do.
Oh, there's a source.
Just take David away that afternoon.
No, I was gonna go and...
I don't care what you were going to do. Take him to town. Hello? Frisco's Tesserin? What does that mean? I don't know if I can do that. Thanks. Thank you.
Nothing can be done to ease the horse's suffering.
It's gonna be okay.
You don't have to be here for this.
I'm gonna stay with her till the end.
For Joanne, losing Frisco is like losing one of her family.
And I loved her beyond belief.
But she will not be scared away by the negative presence.
This was my property. It was either them or me, and I wasn't about to give up.
That Saturday, Joanne burns sage to cleanse the property.
I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy.
This whirlwind of voices and air and everything started happening.
Banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy. I cleanse this building with light and love and banish all negative energy.
Everything stopped. And it was beautiful. I just kind of sat back and said, wow, I did it. I beat it.
For a good while, things returned to normal. Jim and I were getting along better. I really wanted to build my business up, and we'd been saving. So we decided to invest our savings in an indoor riding arena. What happened? We hired a contractor, and he cleared that field.
Sue realizes that Joanne has unwittingly provoked the spirits all along.
Having a home and property that is in constant change will cause the spirits to uprise and start to attack.
One night, not long after breaking ground for the arena,
Hello? What about all our money? Thank you. He's bankrupt, Jim. Our contractor is bankrupt. What? Apparently, he owes everybody money, and he skipped town. Nobody's heard from the guy in 2 weeks.
We had put our life savings as well as our son's college fund into this project, and to lose that money was absolutely devastating.
I know a lawyer. Maybe there's a way to get some money.
He's gone, Jim.
We've got to try. You of all people know that.
I felt like I was in a boat going down to the bottom of the ocean.
Mom! What is it? I heard the man's voice.
Joanne thought she had banished the negative presence,
No, I don't want to live here anymore.
but it was lying in wait.
I'll make it all right. I'll make it all right. It's all right.
Joanne's property is besieged by a negative presence,
Good riding today.
but she resolves not to be intimidated and even recruits new students.
There's a regional event coming up in 3 weeks.
That sounds great. What about the indoor riding arena?
I know we've had some delays, but we've got everything under control.
Oh my God. Look.
I had never seen anything levitate like that before.
I'm out of here.
Me too.
Now it's starting to throw things, and you know what could happen next? Could it be a knife?
Are you okay? Thanks, I'll be fine.
I became so overcome with anger at that point. I was ready to fight it and fight it any way that I possibly could.
Later that night, when Jim comes home,
I'm calling a priest to bless this home.
Joanne pleads with her husband for support.
Say that you believe me.
If I accept that there is something supernatural happening on the property, then I will have to do something about it.
I want to.
And I don't know what to do.
You know I'm here for you, honey. I believe in you. It's just...
Daddy.
David's in bed, right?
That was a little girl's voice. Call the priest.
We both heard Mommy and Daddy, but there was no denying it.
A few days later, the Whitley's parish priest blesses their home.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen. Peace be with this house and with all who live here. May the God whom we glorify with one heart and voice enable us through the Spirit to live in harmony as followers of Jesus Christ, now and forever. Amen.
For a while, the blessing helps. But Joanne still senses the lingering presence.
Don't you have lessons this afternoon?
Not anymore. What's gotten into you? Call the ambulance. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right.
All I could think of is, oh my God, he could be paralyzed.
Everything's gonna be all right.
I felt totally helpless. We can't deal with this anymore, and I'm scared for my son's life.
So,
Sue isn't surprised that neither the priest nor Joanne could cleanse the property.
The reason why blessings and smudgings don't work on a property is they don't hold enough strength, enough vibrational strength to actually remove what is there. It can subdue, but it usually comes back.
do you think you can get rid of them?
I don't exactly get rid of them. In Shambhala, we try to heal the negative energies and help all the spirits to ascend.
Is that dangerous?
It can be.
I'd like you to meet my husband, Jim, and son, David.
When I first met Sue, I said, I've met you before. Not that I know of, I haven't, but I felt very comfortable with her. It was very strange for that connection to come right away.
I'm going to take David into town.
Sue thinks it's best if no one is home during the cleansing.
She said that it's like opening a door to the other side. These spirits, they could attach themselves to people around her.
I was concerned. There was evil on the property. And it was the largest spiritual gateway that I've come across.
Aren't you going with them?
I feel like I need to stay.
Well, I need to walk the property.
Sue believes the presence has retreated to the woods surrounding the farm.
I'll be in the stable. Good luck.
Okay.
Joanne is used to doing everything herself, but now she can only wait.
We were all hoping that this would work. We were just hoping and praying that she could help us.
I could feel my hair starting to rise in the back of my neck. What was coming at me was evil. When I walk a piece of property, things come to me in different ways. Mostly I sense. I can sense who's standing beside me. I can sense who is walking towards me. I see the dimensions that are trapped there. When working with energy, you can be harmed. I have been stabbed, I've been scratched, choked, pinned down.
To cleanse the property, she must convince the spirits to move on.
You are no longer alive. You do not belong here.
And the anticipation was incredible, waiting to see what the outcome was going to be.
I want to help you ascend to a better place.
Sue senses the spirits want to ascend. But something is holding them back.
You are free to move on.
Every spirit has to be released. It must. My stomach starts turning. My heartbeat starts racing. I knew what was coming at me was evil.
Leave my slaves alone!
And I hear Samuel.
Sue realizes it is Samuel who has held the other spirits captive for centuries.
The only thing going through my mind was, am I strong enough for this job? It wasn't a question of who was going to win. It was I had to come out alive. Samuel was pulling my neck. He was ready to rip it off.
You're not alive! Do not belong here!
When I pushed him down, I released all of his negative energy, and I could breathe again.
You are all free now. You can go.
It almost made me want to cry. Just the release of their energy and the relief that they felt. The ability to ascend and the freedom. Amazing, amazing.
I could hear the birds chirping, the sun was out. It was like a big blanket had been lifted off of me and off of my property.
She is forever grateful to Sue.
Sue is the one true help that we've had here throughout the years.
The presence is finally gone. But it has changed Jim and Joanne forever.
I'm not sure where I've got the inner strength from. It's probably from God, but I know that I have the strength to fight anything when it comes to the health and well-being of my family.
It's made me believe that there is something else out there. What? It's hard to really explain, but there is something else.